Hello, and welcome to another episode of...
Oi, what's going on here? You don't do the intro. I do the intro. I don't know, you let your past self take a few liberties and he thinks he runs the place. Oh, look, hands have gone in his pockets. He's proper sulking now.
I'm not sulking, you're sulking.
Wow, put your bottom lip away. We need to have a look at what's coming up. I don't know, you just can't rely on your past self these days, can you?
Webs.
Ooh, the burn. Right, let's get this underway while the old fool pretends he can type. This is part 4 of this pile of Spectrums that Universal Retro boss Paul sent for repair. Only one left in this series, but I've just collected the next batch, so many more to come. I don't think I'll make them part 6, etc. of this series, though, as YouTube hates a sequel. I wonder what we have inside this plus case today. Any guesses?
Right, let's play the game. I can see logic chips, so less than 4. I can see heatsink, so more than 2. It's a 3 or a 4, and I think there's no green on top, so I'm going to go 3B.
Don't trust him, he's probably already looked. Although if he had already looked, he might realise there's still a screw in there.
Why is that not coming out? I thought I took that out.
Maybe it jumped back in.
It's a 3B. I win.
You win nothing, except maybe Cheater of the Year award.
There's some cracking along there, and
It doesn't look like this keyboard membrane has survived.
the cable is delaminated.
There are some visible cracks in the bends that, even if they're intact now, will probably soon fail.
Reset switch is attached to the back. That's quite neat. I quite like that. I might do that with the other one as well. I'm not sure why. I mean, it's not like you're in here looking at it. Intact legs and springs. It's nice. I think these ones are kits, maybe. Oh, look at that. It's had its DC mod done. That's nice. That's a neat way of doing it. Let's have a look. It's had work. In fact, this is very unusual.
A bit like your face.
So the reset cap, the reset switch is actually attached to the ROM, and I'm not sure where that one goes to. A point here. This might just be a different way of doing it. I need to snap a picture of that. But no, what caught my eye is over here. That is the LM1889 chip. This 1889N chip.
Better?
And they're very reliable. And that's been worked on. There's a bit of flux residue there. But apart from that, what have we got on the back side is short legs on the... All of the ICs have been trimmed, but no other work has been done. You often see like the CPU has been swapped out, but no other work has been done. Okay, we'll be recapping this one because these are original caps. Cool, I wonder what's wrong with it. My guess, lower RAM. It's always the RAM.
It is always the RAM, but is it this time?
I hope TR4 is not balked, because that's going to be awkward to get that out of there. Yeah, one of the legs is actually gone sideways. Gone over there. So 2 of the legs are here, and that one and that one. That's where the DC mod comes to. And then this point here is where the other leg of the TR4 transistor goes. What is that? That one's been worked. Oh yeah, that's where the cap goes to. So that's had work done. It looks like it might have had a new voltage regulator as well. Yeah, and although that's date appropriate, so maybe not. Let's do some tests. 400 ohms. 450 ohms. Is that right? 3B handy is to do.
Straight away, there are some resistance readings on the voltage regulator that concern me. In an effort to verify my sanity, I grabbed various other revision motherboards to compare this to. Higher resistance on the voltage regulator can point to a bad component on the DC-DC circuit.
9K, 2K, so that. Let's try this 4S. And that's 1.6. Sorry. What are we up to? So yeah, 1.9. Something bad there. So I reckon the voltage regulator is broken. I don't think that that's working, because that just directly the 5 volt directly supplies on this all of the chips on the board. The DC-DC conversion circuit supplies the -5 and the +12 to the lower RAM, and the +12 to the LM1889N chip. But all the 5 volts come direct off of the voltage regulator. I reckon that's bad. That's an early guess. I'm tempted to plug that in, but let's have a look at the coil and TR4 and TR5 first. It's quite a lot of resistance. Oh, that's alright. Hang on. Yeah, that's open circuit. That's no view.
If you get some resistance across the coil, it's worth swapping the probes around. That will often give the readings you expect.
Dead short and dead short. Good, that's good. I'm happy with that. Let's go on to diode check. Let's do TR5 first.
Right, how about those flaky transistors?
So black lead in the middle first. Voltage drop. Voltage drop, that's good. Right, red lead in the middle. Nothing. Should get something on this side. That's normal because there's capacitor charge in it. You can see that rising up. Right, TR4, black lead in the middle. Nothing, that's good. This one, it tests reasonably well in circuit, so we should get red lead in the middle, voltage drop. Ooh.
TR4 is looking faulty here. The voltage drop on one side is much too high, so this needs to come out. No doubt here, none at all.
Yeah, it's too much that way. So this might not be TR4's fault. It could also be what's causing the weird resistance up on the voltage regulator. Oh, that's a shame, because it's the one thing I didn't want. Oh, that's why it's doing it. That is not. You idiot. That is not the one of the legs of TR4. That is. So that that should give us. Yes, that's working. Yes. Sweet. So I do think it's the voltage regulator. And they can go dead short and give and put all sorts of horrible voltages in. So I'm tempted just to take it out.
It's not the worst thinking, but one thing I've learnt that Benchley is still not aware of is the transistors at TR4 and TR5 are more likely to fail than the 7805 voltage regulator. They're also easier to remove and test. Anyway.
Not very good solder joints on the top there. Wonder if it's cracked on the bottom as well.
Here's some microscope footage of the solder joints on the back of the board.
That looks hunky-dory. There's no cracks on there. I'm going to reflow that before it goes back. That one looks a bit scabby. These often are reflowed, but they look good. This is where the LM1889 is. Got a bit of tree sap around there. Where are we here? That's a lot of flux. Anything else? Oh yeah, the short legs. All of these have been chopped. So if anything comes out, it's going to be a bugger to get back in. Look, there's a cave in there. I could go. I can't remember the word.
Spelunking.
When people go diving in caves.
Spelunking.
It's good. The coil has got a big old thick.
What the actual?
Oh, that's been savaged. Someone's taken a chunk out of that. I forget I've got that footage on there anyway. So what are we doing then? We can take no chances. Take that voltage regulator out. Test it out of circuit. I can just put 9 volts and ground into it and test it with bench power supply and a couple of crocodile clips. I could use something a bit beefier.
As AC Randy's back. Beautiful.
Right, so I've rigged this up to my bench power supply with +9 going in here and ground there. And if I turn that on, it's not draw, it's 0.006 amps. It's working. There's nothing wrong with that.
The voltage regulator is good. So what next?
Something else is wrong. But I feel more comfortable about putting it back in and turning it on now. Once I straighten these legs up. So I reckon the high resistance on there is further into the board somewhere. Probably lower RAM. TR4, TR5 seem to be behaving themselves. Let's turn it on and see what we get. I'm not going to put any video in yet, I just want to test the voltages. And we're drawing 750 milliamps. And yep, 5 volts good, 9 volts coming in is good. Let's go straight to the lower RAM. Oh, we have -5, 12, and we have 5. Wow. I wonder if this is just another loose ULA.
Okay, then we have a full set of working voltages, and they are looking good.
Could it be?
It's possible the ULA has just crept out of its socket slightly. Another Spectrum in this batch
Shall we
had
find
exactly
out?
that fault, so not beyond the realms of possibility. The next thing to do is see if there's a display.
Alright, so TV on. Let's go. No output.
It's like waiting for Christmas times 1,000.
It's because I haven't done a composite mod.
How many times have you done that exact same thing? You idiot.
Stop it. Lovely. Now we can suck out the solder. Nick it. Thank you for my cutters, Taz.
Yes, thank you, Taz. These are in constant use all around my workshop.
Taz Fay Dodge. He's a lovely, lovely guy. Really supportive of the retro community. One of the good ones.
I have to agree with myself here. Taz is a diamond.
That'll do.
The comp mod went as expected, and I switched it on, and then totally forgot to record the garbled screen. So here is an AI recreation of that moment. Count the thumbs. With a corrupted display and diagnostics that refused to work, it was probing time.
I thought I would give the oscilloscope first crack at this. The diagnostic cartridge is not working. That won't fire up at all. And I mean, that could be anything. It could be absolutely anything. That could be the memory, it could be the ULA, it could be CPU, ROM. Just pick a chip. Could be anything.
You pick a chip.
I have these printed out, which is the ULA pin assignments and the CPU pin assignments, and it has some little cheat sheet stuff about what does what and what you should check. And I started with the CPU, so I'll switch it on. Actually, I'll switch it off first. And the reset line on the CPU is the first thing I checked, was the reset line, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that doesn't go high. Doesn't come out of reset. And if we look at the data line, so we're looking at 15. So 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15. We've got some activity on there. There's not much going on though. And that's 14. That's 13. There's something going on there. But if we look on the ULA at the data lines, so they start down here at 21. There's reasonable activity there. So I've got good hopes that the ULA is okay. The next thing I noticed that the CPU, if left on for a couple of minutes, is starting to get toasty warm. ROM stone cold, logic stone cold, ULA stone cold, lower RAM is stone cold, upper RAM is stone cold, video chip stone cold, everything's cold. That is actually getting hot enough to burn. It's uncomfortable to keep my finger on there.
Can anyone smell bacon?
Ho. Bad CPU. Let's get that out. Right. CPU out. It's not really doing the double moo. There's hardly any leg there. This is going to be a pig. Might have to just go straight for the hot air. I don't like doing that on 40 pins. Ain't no way I can get hold of enough of these to wiggle them. No way. And there's loads of solder left on top. Even the ones that look reasonably clear are not moving.
The legs on this CPU have been trimmed down almost flush with the board. This made it quite tricky to use the desoldering gun and left a lot of solder behind. Not an ideal
Wide
result.
to start with.
But with a nice even hot air treatment, even a large chip like this 40-pin Z80 will come free with a little gentle persuasion.
Couple of thick traces in the middle. My eyes deceiving me. It looks like it's bending.
It's still a nervous moment when it starts to come free. Is that last bit of resistance a trace being torn up, or just a bent leg holding on for dear life?
Phew! Do not like doing that to 40 pins. My least favourite chip to heat. Very good. So do we test this in a working machine? The pins, their legs are so short, I don't think it'll work anyway. We'll just stick a working one in here. I think just stick a working one in. What would you do?
Me? Seems like a daft question.
I'm just asking.
Well, don't ask. Get on with it.
God, you're so touchy.
Well, that told me, didn't it?
Look at that. Drop straight in. Sweet as a nut. Cool. I get from my chip store. Zilog Z80. This is from year 2000. Lovely jubbly. Lovely jubbly. Bench power supply is giving it 900 milliamps. Let's switch it on. What do you reckon? Yes! Just the CPU. Yay! I'll turn this one off. Well, there in the end.
After giving the edge connector a clean up, the diagnostics passed with a clean bill of health.
Well, that seems to work. Okay, right, I've recapped up to this point. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 so far. 3 to go. I've tested it at this point and it works perfectly. So now I've got to remove. Actually, I'm going to remove one end and just leave it hanging. Replace the ones underneath and then replace this one on top so I don't forget, just in case I get called away.
These capacitors are not going to last much longer, so they're all removed and replaced, including that tricky little DC-DC mod.
Okay. I'll just leave that over there and then I can carry on with these two. Let's do this 1 microfarad first. Let's do that end. I've been doing all of these in the vice. Actually, I'm going to put it back in. It's just a bit easier to handle. And the way I've been doing it is that one and that one, I think. Soon find out. This old solder does not want to melt. 1 microfarad. Get hold of the dangly bit. Pull it out. And then clearing the holes with my solder sucker. Alright. Choppity chop. this was a nice easy one. Gosh. The next one is going to be a nightmare. Come back and clean that up after. But now it's testing time.
And the last thing I need to do is load up a game and test. It's probably better to test loading old style through the ear port just to make sure that part works too.
I've attached a keyboard so I can type in load speech marks, quote quote, and I've attached a mono lead to the earphone port, and there's a lovely app called Play ZX. And so if I press enter on this and play on this,
With my phone pulling duty as a tape drive, with the excellent Play ZX app, I try loading Manic Miner.
if I touch this, then we start to get a signal, and I can just about hear coming through the speaker.
But it's not working.
There we go. You can see it's that missed the start of it. I need to either replace or fix that socket. This is a trick I learnt off of watching Musty One on YouTube, who's he's a YouTuber that does car repairs, and this is the sort of thing he does to clean out like carburetors, that kind of thing. I thought it might work well here. I'm running it backwards because there's like the contact has an edge on the left hand side, so if I ran it the other way I might catch it.
My neat trick with the cotton bud and battery drill didn't work. Still the same problem. So I got a little more drastic. Nothing to lose. If the socket is bad after this, I can always just replace it. So in goes a brass coated wire brush.
Yeah, I've got all of it.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
success!
There's nothing wrong with this. Nah. So that all works fine.
The picture is still a little dull, so my last bit of soldering is to replace the two transistors at TR1 and TR2 with BC549Cs to brighten up the picture.
That's better. We like that. Bright.
And then clean up the mess.
This lot is what's left when you repair a ZX Spectrum. This one's actually not too bad. Pretty clean on the outside. It's not going in the ultrasonic cleaner because I don't want to take it apart. Just needs a wipe over. I'm supposed to be able to find out if that if the keyboard works. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 doesn't work, 7 doesn't work, 8 doesn't work, 9 doesn't work.
The membrane is partly working, but partly working is also
does.
partly broken. So Paul will replace this when I bring the machine back to him. That was fun.
Should bit off.
If you're still here and want to see more of my brand of madness, you could do worse than check out my second channel, More Fun Making It Too. Thank you, Brand Awareness Team, for that name, Joyce. Over there, you get more videos more often, but a lot less editing. You also have to look at my face a lot more, as that's apparently the way these things are done. I pity you. So click the link in the description and come and see what I'm up to. That's also where you'll find me occasionally live stream. One more in this Enduro repair series to go. The next one is a lot more broken. Right, I'm off. Don't let me keep you. Taps foot and looks at watch.